Hi. Today we are going to drive. No, not really. Almost. I'm 37 and I don't have a driving license. This is our car with Kevin. I cannot drive it because I don't have a license, but I've been going to a school recently, and at the tender age of 37, I'm attempting to actually get the license. So, so nervous. The exam is tomorrow. I've passed my theory test. I'm gonna tell you more about the theory and the practice test. In a nutshell, I've done my theory test and tomorrow is the full-on practice exam, and I am super duper nervous. And yesterday and today were my final lessons and I have been so bad. The previous weeks I started getting confidence in the wheel, I started to feel comfortable, and I was even enjoying driving in Spain with the palm trees and sunshine and nice views. But between today and yesterday it was the complete opposite. I feel like my confidence is gone. I feel like I'm just seeing mistake after mistake, and I make more mistakes when I see my mistakes, and then even more mistakes because I'm panicking. I don't know how I'm gonna do this tomorrow. I really need your help. I really need you to root for me. Even if you only see this like in the future, I'll be able to tell you if I did it. I'm gonna tell you soon if I managed to do it. But right now, all I know is I'm really nervous. I'm very overwhelmed. Everything is just so much. I don't even know what to revise. I don't know what to look at. I'm gonna try to maybe look at the map and see the potential routes where the examiner might ask me to go. I need to pull myself together, like the same way I did with the documentary filming and other things that are challenging that I've done. Today I need to do the same that I preach, that you gotta build up your confidence, that you gotta believe that you can do it, and then you're halfway there. But I feel like I really need to do that so well. And even then, of course, it's not a guaranteed pass. But if I'm this nervous and I'm worried, I feel like my confidence is gone, then I stand no chance. Today I'm going to rebuild my confidence, and then I stand a chance at passing the exam. It's going to be at the crack of the dawn. I'm gonna need to get up at like 5:30 in the morning to make it to the driving school and then to the exam. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I guess I have done many difficult things in life that ended up well, and I usually am able to control my nerves. I usually am able to overcome this feeling of the lights are gone. Give me a second. This is what happens when you sit in a dark garage. I guess this is a good example of a neurodivergent person trying to pull her shit together and also talk about it. I'm not there with either of them. Right now I find everything really hard. I'm hungry, but I haven't had lunch. I'm nervous. I want to prepare, but I don't know what to prepare. My thoughts are in constant overwhelm loop, and I need to find a way to manage my emotions, to manage my thoughts, and to believe that I can do better, even though today and yesterday was really tough. And the thing about the practice lessons, I feel like there's so much going on the road when you're out there in the car and you're a new learner. There's so much to look at. There's so much to take in. There's a lot of information, and at the same time the instructor is talking to you. I feel like a lot of times I process it later. I'm trying my best, but not all the information gets through when she's explaining something, because I'm also driving at the same time while she's explaining something, and then I just don't get it. But I don't know what to do with that. We cannot stop in the middle of the road and you're going at a decent speed. You can't just pause, be like, now I can pay attention. My attention is like one single focus. So if I'm looking at the road and I'm looking at the signs and the other cars, that's already a lot going on for my brain. At the same time, to try to take in what my teacher is saying. I have a really good instructor. She's amazing, but my brain just cannot take in all that information all at once, and it's like really struggling to focus because there's so many things to focus on. I'm going to need to try to calm my nerves and calm my mind, and then focus on what matters the most, because she says that it's all about observing everything. It's the signs, the cars, the road signs, what's going on with the traffic. Like, it's a lot of observation. Try to quiet my mind, really, because there's just so much chatter going on about all the things that could go wrong, about all the mistakes I did today and yesterday, and all that chatter is not helping me see with clarity the present moment. I need to be present. I need to regulate my emotions. I need to try to enjoy the experience. I think I've just been too nervous about the result. And when you're focusing on the result, usually that doesn't turn out well. Usually that's too much pressure. That's too much stress. This is me pep talking myself. I'm gonna need to try my best and take it 1 second at a time, 1 meter at a time on the road, and then see if I'm ready to be granted, to be awarded a driving license or not. I will definitely report back tomorrow after the exam. I don't think I'll be able to film before because it's like at 6 a.m. when I need to be leaving. It's way too early for my brain to do anything. So I'm gonna get up, prepare, get dressed, hair, whatnot, go out early. I'm the very first person at the exam. I'll report back tomorrow in the morning after the exam, whether I passed or not. I'm gonna tell you how the experience was and what we can learn about it. I can either give you tips on how I did it or I can give you tips on how not to do it. One way or the other, there's gonna be something to learn. So the lights are gone. It's really stopping me. Anna, stop. Go have lunch. Get prepared. Try getting ready mentally. I see you tomorrow. I may or may not have a driving license tomorrow. That is in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 second. I've just come back from the exam. Guess how it went? I failed, but I'm not feeling too bad because there were quite a few things I did well, and the things I didn't do well, I'm gonna learn from. Let's break down what happened. Yesterday, when I was chatting with you guys, that is a few minutes before this moment in the video, I was so nervous. I would have stood zero chance if I had to take the exam in that state of mind. So what I did after was everything I could to calm myself down, from breathing exercises to listening to music I like, to dancing to the music I like, to preparing but not preparing too much so that I don't go crazy and too stressed about it, but just like looking at it, but also like listening to music at the same time, making it as pleasant as possible. And also I was picturing myself at the wheel, being confident and feeling good about myself. A lot of mental prep. I was trying my very best to get my confidence back, to pull myself together, because as I told you, without the confidence, without feeling like I can do it, I can never do it. And I don't think there's any human being that can do it. You're halfway there if you believe that you can do it. And that's what I was working on yesterday. And I did it. I felt like after a few hours, even the fact that I talked to you guys about how nervous I was in this vlog helped me understand my emotions better and then regulate my emotions. So it's really interesting that by talking about how bad and overwhelmed and nervous I felt, it actually helped me be less nervous, overwhelmed and stressed out from the whole situation. Because I feel like in the past, what I would have tried to do is to be in denial about how I feel and just like try fake optimism and here we go, no, I'm not nervous, I'm good, I'm fine, and then I'm shaking. In a way, the whole thing about vlogging about this experience helped me be less nervous. I think it was similar with the documentary, the vlog I did about the documentary, that helped me just be more ready mentally that I'm talking about this experience. I'm wondering if this could help anyone and everyone. Maybe not everyone has to put out vlogs on YouTube to feel less nervous or to feel more ready, but I do think that talking out your thoughts, journaling in any way and shape and form you can, put your feelings down on a piece of paper or out, or say to yourself even, I think it helps. I think it helped me accept that I felt really nervous, accept that that's what I'm going through, and it's okay that that was what I'm going through. Not be in denial about it, accept it, and then once you accept it, it becomes less of a monster, it becomes more manageable, because then you know what you're dealing with. It's like, okay, I'm nervous. It's understandable, I have an exam, I'm really nervous about it, and then you can do something about it. So I think this has been really helpful to me that I'm vlogging. Oh, and the lights are off. Oh, I can't even open the door. Of course I don't have a license. I can't even open the door. Next time I will know how to open the door and I might get a license. It really has been so helpful and I recommend this to you as well. Find the way it suits you, find the way it works for you, but accepting our own emotions, our own feelings, and not being too hard on ourselves because of feeling that way. You know, you gotta be kind. I will do my best and I will try to feel better, but also not forcing it. It's not like you can force the nerves out. It's not like you can force yourself to be immediately like, no, I gotta stop being nervous. That doesn't work. It's accepting it and then working to manage it, but also not forcing it. Being kind to yourself, being gentle and giving yourself that time and space, that patience that's needed. So I think it took me a few hours by the time I actually felt confident to show up at the exam today and to feel good about myself and to feel ready. It really worked, I feel like. I know I told you I failed the exam, so it's a bit contradictory, but mentally I was so ready. I woke up at 5 a.m. today. The moon was still out when I woke up and it was like so cool that I was getting ready. I put on clothes that I like. I was wearing my blazer on top of this white top. Definitely highly recommending it if you need to be confident and feel good about yourself. Wear clothes that are comfortable and that you really like. I think it's crucial that you feel great in your skin. In moments like that, even more so, but always, of course, it takes some effort and time to get ready, especially if you're like me, that my hair is a mess if I don't do anything about it and I like a bit of makeup. But I feel like that effort is worth it because whenever I'm wearing something I really like and whenever I've done my hair or my makeup the way I like, I feel really good about myself. So it gives me confidence. That was the first thing I did after a shower. The shower woke me up and I had my playlist ready. I took my headphones with me, big headphones, and a playlist that is just really like my feel good, get hype, be confident. The world is out there for me to explore and enjoy and have a good time. I have a lot of Imagine Dragons on my playlist, but it's again something very personal. What are the songs that you like? Make a playlist of your favorite songs and have that as your hype music, your hype playlist. So I was listening to that, blasting it, and also getting there early, I think was key to me because living in Spain taught me how punctuality is not really a thing. And now I also have this bad habit that I arrive late, at least a few minutes late, a lot of times. So what I did today was the opposite. I was like, no, Anna, you are leaving an hour before. I was at the meeting point at the driving school 40 minutes before the appointment. And I was the only one. And maybe 40 minutes is a bit too early, but hey, I got to see the sunrise. I was there with my headphones, listening to the music I like and that hypes me. I was moving my body. I was practically dancing on the streets because there was no one. I was just moving myself, stretching and looking at the sunrise. It was so nice. Birds chirping, very calm, everything. And the beautiful sky with the pink clouds. It was just such a beautiful morning and I felt like I was getting even more ready for everything. Got the music. I'm wearing something that I like. I'm looking at the sunrise, at the birds, and the light goes off. Hang on. It only gives me a few minutes to talk. It was a great morning and I was so ready. I think those things help, not just exam situations, but just like, you know, to feel good about yourself, to be in a good mood, to make the most of the day, to start well the day. I normally don't wake up at 5 a.m., but now I'm considering that maybe sometimes I should get up to be watching the sunrise. You know, it's a special thing to do with Kevin, with friends. Like, that's like so cool, isn't it? When he did his skateboarding video, we were out so early at the skate park that we did get to see the sunrise with an incredible view on the castle. The whole scenery was so pretty. And now I got to do it because of my driving exam. Maybe we could do this here and there because it really is so nice. The weather was great. I was worried it might rain. It doesn't rain often in Spain, but it's forecast to rain in this afternoon, not in the morning. So everything was perfect weather-wise as well. We went to the exam place with the instructor and the other students. I don't know any of the other students because I did my theory exam alone. I didn't sign up for any school. I learned better on my own. I feel all sorts of social anxiety sometimes if I'm around people. Will they say something to me? Will they interrupt me? Even if they're really nice people, you know, it's not about like whether they're nice or not. I just feel like I learn better and I can focus better on my own. I studied online from YouTube videos, from live streams, from driving schools, an app that has the test questions. I've practiced so many test questions. I kept filling them out and I kept watching the videos even when I was just like, I'm cooking, unloading the dishwasher, whatever chores I had to do, whether I was at home or on the go, I was trying to at least listen or watch videos. I over-prepared. I passed my theory exam at the very first attempt with 0 mistakes, and I was like so proud of myself. But today I failed the practice in like the shortest amount of time one can fail, because I made so many basic mistakes. What I was saying earlier, the morning was great, the prep was great, mentally I was so ready. The examiner was a really nice lady. I had everything so ready, you know, like she's a really nice person, because sometimes you get someone tough or you see that they're going to be like hard to impress, but no, this was like a really nice lady, my examiner. She asked the first question, I didn't know. It was something that's as simple as like how to defog the back window, but I didn't exactly understand the word she said. I'm doing my exams in Spanish and I'm fluent in Spanish, but I didn't exactly understand the word she used for the window. I understood it's the rear window, but I didn't know what. So I was showing how to wipe the rear window, and it was about, you know, if it gets fogged up and what do you do with that. So it was a different thing. Apart from that mistake, I was still like, no, Anna, it's fine. You didn't understand that word in Spanish. So I've still got this. So I get started. I go where we were planning to go, because at the start I was allowed to drive on my own for the first minute or two. So I'm doing the directions that we practiced the day before. I looked at it on maps. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. Until there was a bus at the bus stop. Cliffhanger. The bus was partially occupying my lane. This is a road where there's 2 lanes going in my direction and 2 lanes the other way. So there is another lane, but there are cars coming. So there's this bus here. I'm here. There are cars going in the same direction in the other lane. And so what do? I indicate to the left and I start dodging the bus. But I did not take into account that the cars in the other lane were already too close. I guess not full on fails, but that was a big enough mistake. I don't even know. I think there's like 3 different types of mistakes. I think this is like not an immediate fail, but it's not a small mistake. I was occupying partially the other lane. In reality, it was quite a big mistake and I shouldn't do these things. But I think in that moment, I was just like, I need to keep going. I cannot just stop behind a bus. I didn't calculate well the distance. In reality, maybe I was just like, I need to keep going. So I'm gonna go. And I went in the middle and it's just so bad. I think later I'm gonna try to like review in my head what was my thinking, because I know that you cannot do that. But in that moment, I just did it. And sometimes it takes me some processing to understand my own thinking. So I will be reflecting on this because I want to learn from the core of my mistake. It's not about the bus. It's not about the 2 lanes. What happened in that moment in my head, I want to reflect on that. So I learn from that. Then there were more mistakes because this was like, just to start with, 30 seconds later or so, I'm going into a lane that obliges you to turn right, but then I'm going to the left in reality, because again, we are continuing with the more lanes and I got confused. There was a truck parked at the side of these many lanes, and this big truck. And I remember that I'm looking at the truck, so I'm no longer checking if my lane obliges me to go one way or the other, and I forget about the traffic light. I feel like I got so distracted, and this uncertainty of what do I do with this truck? I'm gonna need to learn more skill-wise. I feel like today I didn't fail mentally. Psychologically, I was ready, but I wasn't ready skill-wise. I'm not skillful enough to know how to deal with uncertain situations. There's things you practice at the lesson and you're guided what to do, but I don't know what happens in these like uncertain situations, and I need to be ready. So I think in a way it's a good thing that I failed. It didn't feel good in the moment. I did feel very stupid. There were like 3 lanes in that moment and the traffic light was to the far left, but still you need to look at it and you cannot just like keep being distracted by this truck that I don't know what to do with. It really was a huge mistake that made me fail immediately the exam, and then we had to turn around and go back. So I was only driving for like 4 or 5 minutes instead of the 25-minute long duration, because I failed at the very start. It did teach me a lot about the things I still need to learn, and that is a lot. In the theory exam, I went over prepared. I feel like for this exam, I didn't. My instructor did tell me that it's maybe a bit too early for me to go to the exam because I haven't had too many practice lessons, but I'm gonna be traveling a lot in the summer, so I wanted to go as soon as I can before I wanted to go before my trips because then I'm gonna be not much around. And then how do you go to the driving school, to the lessons, and how do you go to an exam if you are not in the same country? So that was a bit of an issue with the timeline, and that's why she said that I'm gonna go to the exam right before I go to Norway. I'm flying out tomorrow to host Norway Chestnut, so looking forward to it. But yeah, the exam was just like, okay, Anna, you gotta do the exam then before Norway, and then you gotta do it before Ireland because you're not gonna be here. And in Ireland, people drive on the other side of the road, so I can't do anything about my lessons or practice. I guess I can continue looking at the road signs when I'm in the car in Ireland. I kept thinking, no, practice is just sitting in the car at the lessons, and then you need to do things, which is the biggest thing I guess you can do. But to support that, I think I need to watch more videos because that helps me. When I see how people do things and I have time to analyze it, I feel like I'm not fast enough with my decision making because I'm not experienced, not skillful, not yet that skillful. So I think if I watch more videos and understand more the dynamics of the road, when there's more lanes, when there's like that weird thing that in Spain is called acondicionamiento, which is like a roundabout, but it's not a roundabout. So that's where I made that mistake because it was like going around and there's like more lanes and you can go this way and that way and straight. I don't know if it has an English word, but those things in Spain are a bitch. And that's where I did that double, triple mistake with the truck and the which lane and the traffic light, or cherry on top. So I'm going to study those, I think, more, the trickier situations, and also to be ready to deal with any situation. The good thing about failing today is that I'm going to practice more, study more, and by the time I actually get my driving license, I will be a good driver. I think today I didn't deserve it because I'm not ready yet to be out on the road on my own. And that's okay. It's not a fail in my view. It's a lesson. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to reflect on those moments where I didn't make the right call and why I didn't make the right call, or what were the things that I didn't pay attention to. I'm going to try again. Hopefully I can come back sometime in the summer because I really want the license. I want to drive this car. It's such a cute car. It's a cute electric car and I really want to drive it. I hope this video was useful. If you are learning to drive, don't fail like me. Learn from your mistakes. I'm gonna learn from my mistakes too. The mental prep, I was very happy with. I was very proud of how I did that, and I'm gonna continue doing that with other things too. This vlogging really helps. So thank you. Thank you so much for helping me. I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the next video. Probably trying to get through another obstacle or challenge. And maybe that's what my channel is about now. I didn't realize. I didn't have a plan, but I'm just talking about my human experiences that have to some extent some challenge or obstacle in it. As life is, it's all about how we have our daily life challenges and things that we need to get through and work on or deal with or manage. For me, it's a lot of emotional regulation and how to deal with anxiety and how to deal with sometimes feeling like I failed or made a mistake because I felt terrible at the lessons. Okay, the lights are off. It's really telling me to wrap up. I ramble a lot, but I so appreciate your presence. I so appreciate your support. Thank you for watching this video, and I see you next week, probably from Norway already. Have a lovely day.